you for joining me today. You don't need any props for today's class, but of course, if you enjoy using props to enhance your practice, you can use blankets, blocks, anything that makes your practice more comfortable. When you're ready, you're going to come to sit cross-legged on your mat. If you want to sit up onto a small prop, please don't hesitate to do so. We will be tilting our pelvises a little bit, so nothing too precarious, maybe a stack of blankets rather than a block if you like to sit up a little taller. And as you sit cross-legged, see if you can cross your left leg in front of your right leg, so we're all on the same side here. Bring your hands to rest palm down somewhere on your legs. Take a deep breath in, start to bring the center of your chest forward. Maybe your gaze comes a little up. As you breathe out, just let that go. Relax your shoulders, your jaw, and your chest. Inhale, get a little bit of lift. Exhale to relax. One more like that. Maybe you start to move a little more as you inhale. Your chest comes more forward, your shoulders come back. You roll a little forward in your whole torso. Cow pose. And maybe as you exhale, you pull your belly back and you really round forward. You can slide your hands forward for counterbalance. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, pull back. Again, we'll do one more like this. Maybe you'd like to add some arms. As you inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, bring the palms, the forearms, and the elbows together. Inhale, reach up. Maybe even you reach back and up. Exhale, everything together. One more like that. This time, as you curl into yourself, you can use your hands on your knees if you like. You're going to lift your feet up and you're going to place your toes on the floor. So you're leaning a little bit back. Lift the center of your chest. You can place your hands behind your thighs. Or you could float your hands. You can keep your toes on the floor. Or you could float your feet. Take a few deep breaths here. Keep lifting the center of your chest like you were doing in that inhale position. Keep rolling your shoulders back. Take another deep breath here. And then we're going to switch across your right foot in front as you come back to seated. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Starting small. As you inhale, you just lift your chest. Maybe a little look up. As you exhale, you just gently let it go. Inhale, opening the chest ever so slightly. Exhale, relaxing. One more like that. Then maybe you move a little more. As you inhale, you really bring your chest forward. You roll your shoulders back. As you exhale, you roll your belly button back and you let your chest, or you let your shoulders rather. Your chest is still kind of hanging back. Your shoulders are coming forward. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. You have one more like this. So you're really thinking about squeezing your shoulder blades towards one another as you inhale. And then separating them as you exhale. Maybe adding those arms again, reaching up and or back. Exhaling, palms, elbows, forearms together. Slightly different this time. Inhale, reach everything up and maybe back. Exhale, cross your right elbow on top of your left elbow. You can pull the arm across the body. You can wind up into eagle arms as you bring your elbows towards your belly. Inhale, open everything up. Exhale, go the other way, left arm on top. You can pull the arm across. You can wind up, whatever works for you. Elbows maybe a little more towards your belly as you find that cat shape in your spine. Inhale, open everything up. As you exhale, you rock back onto your sits bones. I'll turn sideways this time so you might see better. You rock back, you gather your knees in. Maybe this time you can go straight to floating your feet. Maybe not. Maybe you need your toes on the floor. Lift your chest, roll your shoulders back. You can stay right here. Or you can pulse a little bit. As you inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, round your belly, come back. Maybe you can even extend your knees a little bit away. Inhale, lift. Exhale, relax. And this could be just the breath. One more like that. Or it could be movement associated with the breath. Inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, bring the soles of your feet to the floor. Bring your hands behind you. Lift your chest. And then take your knees over to the right. Inhale, bring the knees to the center. Exhale, take the knees to the left. And just wobble side to side a few times here. Maybe once more in each direction. And then if you're sitting facing the short edge of the mat as I was, come to face the long edge of your mat so you can extend your legs out. Again, feel free to be sitting up onto a nice stable prop if you prefer. Both of your legs are extended out in front of you. You're going to draw the sole of your right foot in. Lift your arms up as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, twist to your right. You can hold your right knee. You can take your arm to the outside of your right knee. Just see what feels good. Spend a few breaths here. Really enjoy the sensations in your spine. Inhale back to the center line. Extend your right leg, bring your left leg in, and you're going to twist to your left. Whatever variation with the arm works for you. As you inhale, come back to the center line. Stretch your legs out in front of you again. And here you can have your legs really close together. You can have your legs a little wider apart. It's not particularly important where you go. You can also at any point soften your knees. You can bend your knees. You want to maintain the idea that when you lift your chest, your low back creates a nice natural curve, almost like the teeniest, tiniest back bend here as you fold forward. So if you lose that with the legs straight and your back feels kind of stiff and strained, bend your knees a little bit or separate your feet. So start sitting up straight and tall. Reach your arms up as you inhale. Find that lift at the center of your chest. Maybe even pull your arms back, and then as you exhale, fold. So if you can maintain that kind of nice softness in your lower back, you may come really far forward. You may not. Go to that place where you can maintain that little bit of curvature in the lower back. If that's not possible, as you bend forward, maybe bending the legs. If it's easy with straight legs, go ahead and keep them straight. As you inhale, you're going to slide your fingertips in. If you bent your knees, maybe slide your legs out. And then slide your legs behind you, moving any props out of the way as you come to your hands and your knees. Spread your fingers wide. Shrug your shoulders back. Tuck your right set of toes under. Reach your right foot to the back of the mat. Rock back as you breathe out, stretching the heel, the Achilles tendon, the bottom of your foot. Rock forward as you inhale. Just do that a few times, massaging the toes. And you're going to lift the right foot up. Bend the right knee as if you were trying to kick your right butt with your right heel. Most likely won't get there, but you try to go in as far as you can. Shrug your shoulders back, lift the center of your chest a little bit. Just hold here. Lift your right head up a little higher as you inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the knee to the floor. Tuck the left set of toes under, reach the left foot back. And slowly rock back and forward a few times, just massaging out the foot and the lower leg. Now you're going to lift your left leg. Curl your left foot in as if you're trying to kick your left buttock. So you're not crossing over, you're trying to stay over on the left, which makes it a little bit more difficult. Keep shrugging your shoulders back, keep lifting your chest. Keep your belly button firm and engaged. You should really feel the back of your lifted leg here, your hamstrings working. Inhale, maybe a little lift in that left hip, and then exhale to release. Walk your hands in front of your shoulders. Slide your shoulders over your wrists as you breathe in. As you breathe out, tuck your elbows in, lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, press the tops of your feet down, lift the center of your chest. You can do a little baby cobra. You feel your spine is flexible today. You can lift up a little higher if it feels good. Exhale to release. Tuck your toes under. Press back towards funky child's pose. That's child's pose with the toes tucked under, so you continue to stretch your feet if possible. Maybe your forehead comes all the way to the floor. Maybe you have to be quite lifted up here because your feet are quite tight. That's fine. You could be up on your fingertips, almost in a table pose. You go to where you feel the stretch. And then walk your hands towards you. If you had to untuck your toes, see if you can maybe tuck them back under. This part is tricky. Shrug your shoulders back. Press into the toes. See if maybe you can lift your knees up. You're coming into a little bit of a squat. If you have to get here a different way, that's fine. And then maybe, just maybe, you can start to lower your heels as you start to lift your hips. Keep your fingertips on the floor as needed, and then you put the soles of your feet on the floor and you lift your hands onto your thighs. You come to Utkatasana. Lift your belly up as you exhale, round everything forward. As you inhale, lift your chest forward, find that arch in your lower back. Just two more like that. Exhaling cow. Exhaling cat. Inhaling cow. Your cow-shaped spine. And then your kind of cat shape. It's like a stretchy, angry cat. Inhale, come back to neutral. Drop your hips low. Press down into the soles of your feet as you exhale. And then as you inhale, stand, all the way up, reaching your arms out to the sides, all the way up over your head. Press the palms of your hands together and fold forward. Forearms to thighs, hands to shins or fingertips to the floor. Keep your knees a little bit soft and just dangle here for a few breaths. Inhale, find halfway lift. As you exhale, you're going to walk your hands forward, coming towards a table or a downward facing dog. Come to down dog. I always find as I come to down dog, it's kind of funky and then I have to reshift my hips back. If you're coming to table, you can just drop your knees to the floor. Whichever you choose, move around a little bit, maybe circling the hips. Or pedaling out the feet. Inhale from your table or your downward facing dog, your choice. Float your right foot to the sky. Now bend your right foot and see if you can try and kick it towards your right butt cheek. Lift that hip a little higher as you inhale, and then as you exhale, keep the knee bent, curl it in towards your nose, and see if you can set that foot next to the right hand, assisting it as needed. Shrug your shoulders back, reach the crown of your head forward. You're going to step your back foot in 3 or 4 inches and maybe a couple of inches out to your left. Set your back heel down at about a 45-degree angle so you have this nice short stance for warrior one. Front knee over the front ankle. Lift yourself all the way up. Square your hip points to the short edge of your mat. Inhale here. As you exhale, straighten your front leg, fold forward. You're going directly to pyramid pose. Remember, it's not important that your leg is actually straight. It's just straightening until you feel your right hamstrings, the back of your right thigh. Shrug your shoulders a little bit back. You can keep your hands at your heart. You can float your arms behind you like airplane wings. Both of those find a little bit more work in your core. If you'd like something a little more stretchy, you could go hands onto the leg somewhere, onto props or all the way to the floor as you fold a little closer to that front thigh. Take another deep breath. And then inhale, bend your front knee, plant your hands under your shoulders. Turn your back foot straight forward and back. See if you can step back, perhaps to plank. high plank or dropping the knee, low plank. Inhale here, knees up or down, exhale to the floor. Untuck your toes, lie yourself all the way down, hug your elbows in. Inhale, find your cobra. Exhale, release. Press back, regular child's pose this time. Feel free to widen your knees if that's more comfortable for your body. Of course, if you feel frisky, you can always repeat a half vinyasa here, plank, push up, back bend, and then meet us back in base. You could also hold any of those poses that feel good at this time. When you're ready, come back to table or downward facing dog. Float your left foot to the sky. Bend your left knee, trying to kick your left butt cheek. So you're not crossing over, it's not a scorpion. You don't feel the stretch at the front of your leg. You feel the work at the back of the thigh. Lift that hip a little higher as you inhale, and then keeping the knee bent so you can sweep that foot through and place the left foot as close as possible to the left hand. Take a look back at that back foot, step it in, and maybe a little to the right, placing the right heel on the floor. Front knee is over the front ankle, and you peel yourself to warrior one. Hips face the front of the mat, adjust as necessary, and then straighten the front leg. Hands to the heart, folding forward. Drawing your left hip a little back. Again, you can work a little bit of that core strength, hands at the heart or behind you. Or you can go deep into that stretch, walking your hands towards the mat. Inhale here. As you exhale, you bend that front knee. You plant your hands under your shoulders. Turn the back foot straight forward and back. Maybe you can step back to plank. You can go high or low, your choice. Exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale, pick up cobra. If you'd like, you can pick up sphinx or upward dog. Exhale to release. Go back, child's pose. Feel free to add on here. Rest anywhere that you like for a few breaths. When you're ready, meeting in table or downward facing dog. The right foot floats to the sky, inhale. Bend the right knee, again trying to kick the right butt cheek, lift the right thigh, and then step that right foot forward. Same thing, step the back foot in a little to the left, drop the heel down, press into the front heel, and lift up. Warrior one. Square your hips, relax your shoulders. Little variation this time. Straighten your front leg. Draw your hands in front of your heart to start with. Inhale here. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest. You find that little bit of curve in your lower spine. And then you fold. Now, you want to keep your belly button engaged, but not so much that you're kind of hunching up to the sky. You don't want to find cat shape. You want to maintain that nice kind of neutral spine. So your spine is curved naturally. Lift your shoulders up a little bit. Maybe this time you bring your hands behind your back. You could rest them onto your tailbone. You could start to work those hands up the back a little bit. I like to have the backs of my hands resting. So back of one hand on the back of the other hand on the palm of the first hand. And maybe you can work them all the way up between your shoulder blades. Some people can even prayer hand, place the palms of the hands together here behind their backs. That's quite intense for the shoulders, so see where you get to. Take another deep breath. And this time we're going to come back up. So you're going to bend your right knee, and you're going to lift all the way back up. Maybe keeping your arms behind you. Keep shrugging your shoulders back. Find that little bit of lift at the center of your chest. Inhale. You can keep your hands behind your back. You may need to remove them for extra balance, so see how it goes. You're going to lean forward into that front knee, lift the back knee behind you, and see if you can float, maybe with a lot of wobble, onto the right foot, lifting the left leg behind you. You may need to remove your hands at some point, a very imminent point, to place them on the floor or on props here. As you wobble a little bit. Take another deep breath. You're gonna see if you can step your left foot back behind you and see if you can come all the way back up to standing. And if you ended up like me with your heels in line with one another, walk your right foot a little to the right. Finally open your arms up. Maybe roll out your wrists. And then fold all the way forward, plant your hands. Turn your back foot to face straight forward and back. Step back, plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees up or down, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog or sphinx, your preference. Exhale, table or downward facing dog this time. Take a deep breath there. Moving on, left foot to the sky, bend the left knee. Kick your butt, lift the hip a little higher, and then step the foot forward. Left foot is kind of next to the left hand. Look back, right foot steps a little forward and a little to the right. Set the heel down. Press into the front heel and lift yourself all the way up. Warrior one, squaring your hips. Straightening your leg. Hands come to the heart, folding forward. Now, you can of course stay here or bring your hands to your legs. But maybe you'd like to take them again behind your back. Again, find that natural curve in your low back. So your belly is engaged, but it's not so engaged that it starts to feel tight in your lower back. It should just feel kind of spacious in this area of your core. You can try to work the hands up between the shoulders if you want, maybe stacking the other hand on top this time. If you have prayer hands available to you, you are more than welcome to take them. I can really feel my biceps getting a good stretch here just with my hands stacked. When we come all the way up, you bend the left knee and you lift yourself up. Roll your shoulders back. Find that nice kind of open posture at the front of your chest. And then you lean a little forward. You lift the back knee. And maybe you can float. And you can try and do this with the hands behind the back. You may find that they quickly need to unwind. I feel quite wobbly this evening. It's a lot of hard work to stay here with my hands behind my back. Do the best you can for another breath or two. Again, the belly stays a little bit lifted. The shoulders keep rolling back. And then you step back and think about trying to step a little bit to the right. So as you come up, you have that nice warrior one posture again. Unroll your arms. Flex your hands, roll your wrists, whatever you need to do. Inhale. As you exhale, fold, plant your hands. Back foot turns straight forward and back. Step back, plank, inhale here. Knees up or down, exhale to the floor. Your choice of back bend, cobra, sphinx, upward dog. Exhale, come back, table or downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath there. One more little flow. Inhale your right foot to the sky, bend your right knee, try and kick it towards your right butt, lift the right thigh, and step it forwards. Back foot steps in and a little to the left, set the heel down. Inhale up to warrior one. Keep squaring your hips. We're gonna add a twist. Inhale where you are. As you exhale, bring your right hand to your right hip, bring your left hand to the floor or to a prop on the inside of your foot. Gently move your right hip back as you look over your right shoulder coming into your twisted warrior. Right arm could come to the sky if you like. If that feels like a lot on your outer right hip, feel free to lift your back foot and rotate it to face straight forward and back. That can be a lot more kind if your hips are on the tighter side. Keep shrugging your shoulders back. Inhale here. As you exhale, fold back. You're going to place that heel back on the floor if you lifted it up. Front knees over the front ankle and you come all the way back to your warrior one. Inhale here. As you exhale, take your hands again behind your back. This time maybe you interlace your fingers or grab a wrist, shrug your shoulders back. Start to draw your hands towards the floor as you open your chest a little more. See if you can keep your right knee bent as you do this, exalted warrior. As you exhale, fold all the way forward. Your belly can come to your thigh, or your torso can start to come to the inside of your front thigh. Humble warrior. Now you are allowed to cat your spine. So you can really lift your belly up and you can take this lower back up towards the ceiling. So you can round into your spine and you can create that lovely cat shape as opposed to the cow shape. Inhale, come all fold forward, plant your hands. Turn your back foot straight forward and back. High plank or low plank as you step back. That's your inhale. Exhale to the floor. Inhale, cobra or sphinx or upward dog. Exhale, table or downward facing dog. Take a deep breath there. Bringing it home on the other side. Left foot floats, left knee bends. Lift the thigh up as high as you can and step the foot forward. Back foot steps in and a little out to the right. Right heel comes to the floor. Inhale, peel yourself all the way back up. Square your hips. Take your hands behind. Oh, I'm forgetting the twist. As you fold forward, you're going to bring your left hand to your left hip and your right hand to the floor. Shrug that left hip a little bit back as you look over your left shoulder, twisting to the left, maybe opening the left arm up to the sky. Again, you can always lift that back heel and rotate, so the back foot is more of a lunge position if that works better for your hips. Inhale here. As you exhale, you unwind. Plant your hands down. Make sure that back foot is, again, lower to the floor, so the heel is on the floor for warrior one feet. Inhale your way all the way back up. Exhale your hands behind your back. You could lace your fingers the other way. You could grab the opposite wrist, whatever works. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest. Bring your hands a little bit down towards the mat so you feel the openness in the front of your body. Exalted warrior. On the exhale, you fold forward. Humble warrior, belly to thigh, or torso to the inside of the thigh. Feel free to lift the hands and cat your spine. So lift up. It's like you're trying to lift your upper body away from your thighs, even as you are gravitating forwards. Remember that you can always use your hands for support here, especially if you're really getting into that cat shape in the spine, really lifting your belly up, rounding your spine towards the sky. Having the hands on the floor can be quite nice support. One last time, peel yourself up. Really strengthening your back and your core. Exhale to fold, plant your hands. Turn your back foot straight forward and back. One last plank. Inhale. Exhale to lower. Inhale. Cobra or upward dog or sphinx. Exhale. Come back to your table. Your downward facing dog. Take a deep full breath here. And then walk your hands towards your feet, coming to dangle at the back of your mat. Adjust the distance between your feet for comfort, the angle of your feet for comfort. I'm quite partial right now to having a slight turn into my toes as I fold forward. I find I get a really nice hip stretch when I do that. You can see what feels good to you. Keep your knees wherever you decide a little bit soft. Feel free to sway. Press your heels into the floor and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, wriggle yourself all the way up to standing. When you reach standing, roll your shoulders back. Let your palms rotate a little bit forward. And we'll come into a balance. Bring your weight to your left foot. Lift your right heel away from the floor. Slide the heel of your right foot to your left ankle. And I'll go from your mirror. So you're sliding your right foot to your left ankle. And then you can stay right here. Or you could slide your foot up your thigh, resting it on your calf. Or instead up your thigh, up your calf, resting it on your calf. Or all the way up to your thigh, resting it on your thigh. Your preference. Relax your shoulders. Maybe you bring your hands in front of your heart. Maybe you take your arms behind your back again. You could hold the opposite elbow creases. You could work into those stacked hands or prayer hands behind your back in your tree pose if you feel quite stable today. Wherever you are, imagine drawing energy energy and stability up through the arch of your standing foot. Take another deep breath. And slowly release, placing the right foot on the floor. Release your hands. And when you're ready, move to the other side, planting your right foot down, lifting your left heel. Sole of the left foot slides to the right ankle. And that might feel just right. Maybe you like to go up to the calf or all the way up to the thigh. Feel free to let your hands be where they support you. If you don't feel a wobble, maybe that's when you try taking your hands behind your back and going the other direction with your stack. Rolling your shoulders back. This gives you a lot of space across your sternum, and it kind of very subtly changes your balance when you bring your hands behind your back. So it gives just a little extra to this balance today. Take another deep breath. And gently release. Take a moment maybe to roll your ankles, roll your wrists. And we're going to make our way all the way back to sitting on the mat. You can be facing whichever side of your mat feels good. I'm just going to face forward, so I'm facing you. Extend your legs out wide. And out wide is relative. It's what feels a little bit stretchy to you. Feel free again to sit up onto a blanket or a sturdy prop here. And then just notice how you feel. If your legs are really struggling here or your low back is really struggling, you can always fold your right foot in. And when you do that, you just lessen the pressure on your pelvis. It makes this a lot easier. The other thing you can do, if that's not quite enough, is place a prop underneath your right knee so that you have, again, even more space in your pelvis. So pick where it feels not too challenging. It shouldn't feel like it's the easiest thing in the world to sit here, but it should also not feel uncomfortable or gross or painful. So pick what feels right to you. And then you're going to lift your arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to lean to your left, reaching your right arm up over your head, finding this side bend, nice stretch. All along the right side of your body, feel free to look up and bring your arm a little back behind you if you like. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to lower your right hand towards your left foot, just as far in that direction as feels good. So you feel a nice stretch all through the back of your ribcage. If your foot and your hand connect, you can rest your hand there or on the floor or anywhere that feels good. As you inhale, you're going to come back up, reaching that right arm above your ear, and then press your right hip firmly towards the mat and lift yourself all the way up. Take a deep breath. Going over to the other side. If you had the right foot folded in, you're going to switch and you're going to fold the left foot in. Maybe you decide to prop underneath. In any of these, you can also be sitting up on your blanket. Find your seat. Lift your arms up as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, lean to the right, stretching the left side as you reach that left arm up over your head. Feel free to pull the arm a little back, opening the chest a bit more. Inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to reach your left hand for your right foot. And if you get there, that's fine. You can rest, but it really doesn't matter if you get there or if you're halfway there or a third of the way there, or there's nowhere to rest your hand and it's just reaching. That's fine. I just want you to feel that nice stretch coming from the side of the body into the back of the rib cage, around the shoulder blade. When you're ready, you're going to lift that arm all the way back up. Feel free to shrug it a little back. Press your left hip down and see if you can lift yourself all the way up. Nice little side waist work. Gather your knees in. Place the soles of your feet on the floor, but this time go a little bit wider than your hips. If you're sitting up on a prop, you're going to want to move that out to the side. Hands come behind you as you inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, take your knees over to the right. And you want your left knee to end up inside your foot. So if your knee knee ends up on top of your foot, separate your legs a little wider. Lift your left hand up and press your left hand over and back. Inhale, come to the center line, lift your knees up. Exhale, go to the left, dropping the right knee to the inside. Doesn't have to come to the floor, but it should be not touching the other ankle. And then lift the right hand up. You're going to reach all the way around and press kind of diagonally back in the line of your bottom knee. Come back to the center line. Place both hands down. Take the knees one more time over to the right. Reach that left hand all the way over and back. Inhale. And then coming back to the center one more time over to the other side. It's like a variation on pigeon and deer pose. Reach the right hand out. Come back to the center line. Extend the soles of the feet in front of you. Get comfortable. You can again sit up onto a prop. If you would like to, we're going to take the same twist that we took earlier, but you're welcome to go a little deeper this time. Drawing your right leg in. You could twist here as we did at the beginning of class. Or you could step your right foot to the outside of your left leg. Or you could fold your bottom foot in. Your choice. When you find the spot that feels good, reach your arms up as you breathe in. As you breathe out, twist over to your right. Relax your shoulders. Inhale back to the center line. Unwind your legs. Maybe give them a little wiggle, a little shake. And then draw your left foot in. You can practice right here. Foot on the inside. Practice with the foot on the outside. Or you could go whole hog and you could fold your bottom foot in. Wherever you are, lift your arms up, breathe in. As you breathe out, find your twist. And this time it's over to your left. Just let it feel really nice, decompressing for your spine. As you inhale, come back to the center. Unwind your legs. If you're sitting as I am facing the long edge of the mat, you'll want to join and turn to the short edge of your mat, sitting right in the middle. We're going to come back to where we started, lifting our chest as we bring our hands behind our thighs. Roll the shoulders back. Maybe you just lift up onto your tippy toes and do this supported variation of boat pose today, And again, you want to keep that little bit of a hollow in your lower back. So it's not like this. You're not doing a crunch. Your belly isn't getting shorter. Your belly is getting longer. And you're rolling your shoulders back. It's a lot harder. Maybe you decide to float your feet. You can point. Or you can flex your toes. If you feel really quite frisky and you're able to maintain that space in your lower back, there's no crunching. It's all spacious. You could extend your arms or even straighten your legs. We're going to take about 2 or 3 more breaths. Keep lifting the chest. If you start to drop that lifting of the chest, go back a step, give yourself more support so that you can maintain your good posture here, so that you are working the muscles in a way that is functional rather than just straining them. All right, when you're ready, let it go. You can roll yourself with your feet in the air or your feet on the floor all the way down. Feel free to gather your knees into your chest for a few moments. Maybe rocking a little from side to side. And then the sole of the left foot comes to the floor, the right leg extends straight up. Bring your hands behind your right thigh or your right calf or your right ankle as you gently move that right leg towards you, finding a little bit of a stretch. Now press your belly button down to the floor. Relax your shoulders down to the floor. Release the sole of the right foot and draw the left knee in. Extend the left leg up. You can catch wherever behind the leg works for you, drawing it in towards you, little hamstring stretch. Again, press the belly down, relax the shoulders down. So your back is really kind of glued to the mat here as you're stretching your hamstring. Little easy peasy bridge pose. Bring your hands down by your sides. Press your heels down. Roll your belly button towards the floor. Lift your hips. And let's just be like you're floating up as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, lower down. We're just going to repeat that twice more. Engage the belly button. Float up. Relax and float down. One more. And release. Rest in neutral for a breath or two. Is there anything else that your body needs? Any pose, any shape? Feel free to add that in before making your way to your Shavasana, your most comfortable resting place today. Allow yourself to use any props or accessories that make Shavasana comfortable for you. To return, wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe nod your head or turn it a little from side to side. Rolling yourself all the way over to one side to rest for a few breaths. Before making your way to your most comfortable seat today. As you arrive there, bring your hands in front of your heart. We'll close with our deep breath together, in through the nose if possible today, out through the mouth. Beginning on 3. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice and your time. Have a wonderful rest of your day.